caution the minister on his choice of words. The next question, member for Ottawa South.
Thank you very much, Speaker. My question is for the Premier. Speaker, never has an Ontario government spent so much, borrowed so much, incurred so much debt to accomplish so little. Yesterday's budget did nothing to address affordability for Ontario families. No relief for renters, crushed by massive increases. And the Premier's NIMBY.
Stop the clock. The member for Ottawa South is speaking audibly, but I can't hear him for some reason, and it could have something to do with the fact that the House is rather noisy at the moment. I would ask the House to come to order so that I can hear the member for Ottawa South. Thank you. Start the clock. Member for Ottawa South.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm glad to have the member's attention. This Premier's NIMBY, I'll take care of my friends, first approach is not making affordable housing a reality for any Ontario families. And thanks to this Premier, every day more and more Ontarians are having to pull out their credit card instead of their OHIP card to access basic primary care services. So my question, Speaker, is to the Premier. Why did he do nothing to address affordability in this budget for Ontario families?
To reply, the Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that question. You know, Mr. Speaker, when that member opposite and his party were in power for 15 years, deficit after deficit after deficit after deficit. Can I go on? Do we have time for 15 years of deficits? Mr. Speaker, what did we get? What did they build? Did they build hospitals?
No. Order.
Did they build highways?
No. Order.
Did they build public transit?
No.
Did they build schools?
No.
Did they build long-term care?
No.
Did they build the Ontario for tomorrow? No, they spent money, deficit after deficit, ramped up the debt, and we got squadoosh for that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's this government that has a vision under this Premier to build Ontario. Those deficits will pass. We have a path to balance. But you know what will be left? The legacy of building the infrastructure and the economy.
The supplementary question.
Thank you. Yesterday's budget's meagre increase to the health care in this province amounts to a cut. And that's left the 2 million Ontarians without a family doctor, without hope. They need access to primary care. And under this Premier, too many families are now having to face using their credit card instead of their OHIP card to access basic primary care services. And the Premier, he knows this is happening, and he's just watching. And by all accounts, that's just fine with him. This Premier, he's really ready to point a finger, but never able to lift one. So I'll ask the Premier again. The Premier had an opportunity to actually take some measures to address the affordability crisis, so why didn't he?
Members will please take their seats. Order. Order. The Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, the Premier and I and our colleagues, you know, the other day we stood forward in the front of the people of Ontario. You know what we did? We continued the cut in the gas tax, Mr. Speaker, providing benefits for drivers right across this province, Mr. Speaker. Yet their party, supported by their leader, want to have the carbon tax in Ottawa increased next week by 23%, Mr. Speaker. Wow. So, Mr. Speaker, do you want to stand with us cutting taxes and cutting fees, or do you want to stand with them increasing taxes and increasing fees? And let's look at Ottawa, Mr. Speaker. We're investing. Which party is getting the Ottawa Civic Hospital built? Which party is building more schools in Ottawa? Which party is building more for Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario? Which party is building more highways in Ottawa? It's this party. They didn't get it done. We're getting it done.